we'll have to see what is going to be the case in this game. A Slowbro ban, I think potentially for the first or maybe second time tonight. Goat not wanting to deal with that. They've certainly seen Kira get to work on that Pokemon so far tonight.
Yeah, I really think that's the most... Right now, I think it's the diff pick, right? Like, we think we just skill diff you regardless of how this draft goes. So we just don't want to get shut down by a slow beam. I really believe that. And because you only see it, you don't see it selected often enough for it to not be that, I feel like.
Yeah.
So Goat going to leverage that, going to try and let the dog off the chain here and just go absolutely crazy. But if you look across the way, Curse picking up Inteleon and Urshifu, that is awesome first two picks for them.
Yeah, depending on what gets placed in tandem with Inteleon in the bottom path, because now they've lost access to the Umbreon as well, right? I mean, it's a powerful Pokemon, but I think you need a good lane partner to really bring out its full potential. That might be tough to find. Umbreon Blissey being selected by Goat is really interesting. I actually thought this draft might be leaning towards a Comfey pick on the side of Goat with that Zacian first pick, but not going to have it, and instead it's going to go over to Curse. They're actually going to grab that Comfey. I have to imagine that it is going to be Kira rocking that Pokemon.
Yeah, I think so. And again, when a team chooses Blissey, you're actually still open to be able to take Comfey as another supporter, because Blissey, we've seen it as the day is long, is a great kind of off-tank frontlining Pokemon, despite its kit being more in the traditional support kind of healing role. So take it off the map so you don't have to worry about it. But taking a look here, Buzl's going back into the Buzzwole well, and they're going to use that to leverage to make a difference. I'm most surprised. We've seen a hoop almost every game, either banned or picked, and this might be the first one where we just don't see it hit the map.
Oh, oops. Sorry, Uzi, you made a mistake. You chose a Pokemon you've already picked. Unfortunate. After the narrative I've built and all the... griefed constantly.
Okay, all the time we put into that. Forever griefed are the casters.
Also, just wanted to answer one question in the chat. Lucario was asking, is there a bracket reset? There is no bracket reset. It is a single elimination tournament. So both teams have the same win-loss record headed into this matchup between Goat and Curse. They're both 1-0. So whoever wins this best of 3 is the champion of our season-long tournament.
Boom. Too easy, right? Best of 3 is all that separates these teams from a big UMM Season 4 Dubsky. We'll see who pulls it down. Goat looking pretty good. I think Curse has got a little bit of a rocky composition here. We'll see how well Kira can do on this Comfey to keep players like Nudo and Kyriaos moving.
Yeah, you're going to have to support from the shadows and sometimes drop down some grass to create a few more of those if you want to create the support that you need to see. Reckzz is just going to be an absolute heal bot on this Blissey. I mean, so much healing going to come up from them, and we've talked about how good I think Aznable's Umbreon is. There's so many threats on the side of Goat, but I think the key to taking down this roster is finding a way to shut down the absolute utility that those two players have on the map. Can you try to find a way to slow down their support? If you can, finally, you have the viability of knocking out some of these damage carries that are so strong for Goat.
I actually think the secret pick that's going to be the secret sauce in Goat being successful here is Yeatfan on this Alolan Ninetales. I think that's going to end up being the difference maker here, and whether Curse can actually have some solid engagements behind this Urshifu, or if they're just kind of left sputtering and put on the chopping block for the Zacian to come through with that rusted sword and start cleaving some heads off.
I think that's a really good call-up. I mean, Yeatfan's going to have a great lane. The Nudo was actually playing in the Bob Pass, so it's going to be a Squirtle Sobble lane, which is not extremely powerful. Honestly, I think it's going to be a pretty tough spot. Reckzz does get KO'd by Kyriaos. Infade comes up a little bit short, but Trainer is walking away with a blue buff, so I don't think they are too worried about that scenario. They still secured that Escavalier out from underneath Kyriaos.
Yeah, I mean, if you have an experience share on, you are cannon fodder in the first 2 minutes of the game. Like, you are just there to leverage. Big shout out to Zugrug, 82 player or person raid here. Big ups to them. Appreciate you. Welcome in. Grand finals time. We just kicked this thing off. Best of 3, winner take all. Let's do this. Yep. Sitting out, though, is Yeet. They're going to put some pressure on that Squirtle. It's not going to be long for this world as they get gobbled up by the level 3 Eevee, looking to try and become an Umbreon sometime here. But just like we said, the A9 is really facilitating this lane for Goat. until they're not, because they ain't there to do it, which is why Curse got all those points in.
Yeah, Aznable finally hitting level 4. I don't know if we'll see a scenario like we just saw again for quite some time due to the Umbreon finally being online. Kyriaos, though, is almost at that level 7 mark, and now it's on Yeatfan to try to defend this buff from the enemies. Gonna come up a little bit short as Trainer is actually hovering. With that red circle, I have to imagine they stole away the Escavalier, and man, this constant invade strategy from both teams is so aggressive.
Well, getting another KO on the Squirtle here. Nudo is not having a good time, Chief. They are level 4 after just passing the 8-minute mark. That is not good. So Curse is going to have to find a way to get this Squirtle online and eventually do a Blastoise. And at this rate, that might not be until the 2-minute mark.
Wow, this Kyriaos with the Comfey duo of Kira has been pretty exceptional so far, and there you go, that's the Alola Ninetales finding the value in the bot path you were talking about. Great shot by Yeatfan to secure that KO, but they don't even go for more. With only 2 there, you can see they didn't try to stack or score anything more than what they were able to get. I'm going to dodge that Sacred Sword with an eject button is Uzi, and every single move they try to land seems to come up a little bit short.
Come up a little bit short is just true, and a KO is gotten by Goat. As now they're looking at Kyriaos again, carrying Kira on the hula hoop. That collar is with them. As Kyriaos is quickly trying to get as many of these birds as they can without getting KO'd, but they're getting engaged upon very quickly here. The slow smoke is out, but is that enough? That's the question mark. Solar Blade goes to the right, misses wide right. Ray Finkel, the Blizzy is the one that gets KO'd. Now the follow-up is here. Finally, Kyriaos goes down. Kira's going to go down for free, of course, and Overlord and Trainer are going to collapse on this goal zone.
It felt like that team fight from Kyriaos was just called like 20 seconds too early. If they peeled back in that scenario, get a couple more wild Pokemon, all of a sudden they're level 9 and they have their Unite, maybe that fight goes a different direction. And I believe we just saw the tail end of one, but I think we are looking at Snipe Shot Inteleon in this game. A9 is all of a sudden going to have a lot tougher of a game now that Muk has hit that final evolution stage.
I agree, but they have to be working in tandem here because snipe shots need to ring true if they're going to be a difference maker, and that means the path has to be clear and the follow-up has to be crisp. Now they're looking at this Reggisteel. They're working through tons of damage being rained in, but it's quickly taken by Overlord and the Zacian here. Nice stun into the wall by Nudo, and they actually get a KO on Overlord to boot. That's a snipe shot ringing true. Umbreon gets buckled, and so does the Blissey. Both taking pot shots to the back of the head. Absolutely execution style as they're collapsing on this goal zone. Tons of damage is getting rained out back the other way. Solar Blade was out, but did it do anything? Did it make a difference? No, and now that goal zone is gone. Curse team, 111-2?
Okay, Curse team, a bit of a wake-up moment for them. Despite the gigantic score lead, I guess Kyriaos and Uzi have been kind of holding down that regard, but the level advantage the Trainer and Overlord were able to get in the early game was pretty fearsome. That has now been stymied as both Kyriaos and Uzi are heading up, and datboiMuk now at double digits as well. Those snipe shots looked amazing in that last team fight. I'm sure we're going to look forward to more.
Yeah, they need to hit all of them if they want to keep the goats down. Big shout out to Spraggles, the content cowboy. Yeehaw! For the big time raid. We're happy you're here. Grand Finals, Unite Mike's Mayhem well underway. 5 minutes into the first game. Best of 3, winner take all. Let's get after it. Zacian is throwing. Oh, Blitz Assistant's in. They're going to go for the engagement. They're trying to get on top of this Inteleon. Muk knows they're the target. They peel back and they are firing shots in. Can you believe that Bliss Assistance on Overlord did not materialize into anything? Buzl wants to smoke. They're going in. They use their Unite move. A9 is there for the cover. Muk, 4 players down for Curse. And all of a sudden, Goat is stepping up and they're saying, we got the crown, we looking to keep it, and this goal zone is gone, and now the lead differential is 3.
That's a bold play call for the side of Curse team. I mean, they went all in on that dive, and honestly, I don't know if I could have drafted a better anti-dive comp if I tried. I mean, the side that Goat has, Zacian, A9, I mean, just the amount of burst damage they have as soon as those targets get within range, it's ridiculous. So all of a sudden, that lead that they got is squandered, and now they need to find some value elsewhere.
I mean, you call it bold, I call it italics, because all of Curse were left leaning sideways after that. That looked awful. Here we go. If we're sticking on fonts, that engagement was Comic Sans. Straight goofy. Now Goat has all of a sudden been allowed back into this game, and Curse needs to find some opportunity. Nice Hydro Typhoon Surf to pin the A9 against the wall, but now they're stuck against the wall themselves. They're getting frozen down, and now they're getting skated on as the team's moving through. Nice Surf separation. Kyriaos takes the basement objective, but are they going to leverage it? Aznable looking for an opportunity here. 2 players down on Goat, and it might be the snipe shots finding the mark.
Yeah, it feels like max range snipe shots are the key to success here, left, right, and center. Zacian defending this goal zone. Overlord charging up that big Unite move, decides to hold back on it for a moment, but that means Kyriaos has an angle in. They get a KO. Aznable left to defend this goal zone, and slowly the reinforcements are coming back. A9 knocked out mid-Unite move as Nudo starts getting to work on this Blastoise.
Snow Globe is shattered as the Cursed team is willing to stay in the pocket, picking up the Comfey on the Blastoise. That's a tough target, but really getting all the space that little Muk needs to rein in those shots. They are playing from a distance, and it's looking good, my friend. Meanwhile, Buzl was able to do a little bit of work up top and really just buy the time that they needed for that siege. So yes, GOAT is up by 30-ish points, but Curse was able to rally back in that experience differential.
Yeah, they were looking good after that bottom path push. However, I actually would say Buzl may be the one I'm a little concerned about, only at level 11 on this Buzl, where Trainer on the other side, level 13 on the Leafeon. They've been getting the better of this team, these little 1v1s pretty constantly, and I would actually favor Buzl on paper in a lot of the scenarios. All you need to do is land one move on that Leafeon, and it should be curtains, but the way Trainer's been playing, it's been tough for Buzl to capitalize on those.
It really has. They need to get with the team here, right? They need to coalesce with Nudo on the Blastoise and make sure those engagements are in the pocket, and those are just massive snipe shots. If they're hitting their target, these teams are in danger, and there's the Blissey getting eviscerated again. Just a skewer through a marshmallow there is these snipe shots. Some people say if you fall from a high enough distance, Zoink's water is as tough as concrete, and those shots look like they're made of lead.
Why was Reckzz? Oh, jeez. Okay, Nudo goes a little too deep into that Unite move, and they're immediately KO'd. Buzl finds nobody with the Swole Slam, and Aznable the next target up. They should get knocked out here. Big exchange for Cursed.
Yeah, Nudo's going to come off a respawn. They're pretty low level, which is good. These snipe shots really need to start hitting now, Zoinks, because that Umbreon's going to come off spawn. Curse does have more, but they're going for the rip. Kyriaos is all over it. They're going to try and draw the team in. Nice Blissey in back range to get on top of Muk. They go for the KO target, and they get them. The Surf comes through, but it is too late. This team is going to work, and GOAT is finding their marks. 2 players down for Curse, and all of a sudden Rayquaza is taken by GOAT out of nowhere. Curse feels like they are cursed, as they are getting griefed left, right, and center by the team that is GOAT, and they have absolutely put the screws to him. Coming alive is Kyriaos. They need to get some KOs, but guess what, Zoinks? The whole team is 10 Jack, Queen, King, Aced, and GOAT gonna get some burgers in.
Oh my word, that fight was exceptional. Back and forth of exciting moments there, but in the end, it's GOAT holding on to that. That max range Bliss assistance from Reckzz that you called out looks so good, and it actually allowed Trainer to take a 1v2 scenario in the middle of that Rayquaza pit and come out on top. A really nice exchange from them. 45 seconds left in this game. Definitely a chance for Curse to come back, but it is not going to be an easy task. They got one first tier goal zone that they can try to charge forward into, but they're going to need more than 100 points to actually take this lead. datboiMuk cruising up with invisibility, 2 members of GOAT with full ray shields, and they're going to score easy.
They're going to score very easy. They're going to do their math correctly here, and that's going to be a massive overdunk there as this push is trying to happen, but it is going to be a fruitless endeavor. Just a Comfey Unite to use because the Inteleon is knocked out and they had theirs. Everybody's getting lined up, KO'd quickly. Zacian KO streak of 2 for who else but the Overlord, as they're going to get it 3 right as the time ticks down. Hell of a game by GOAT.
Oh, looking good. There were a couple of moments where Curse definitely took over in that game. Some great snipe shots by Muk, a really great Buzzwole play by Uzi, and of course, some amazing Urshifu mechanics shown by Kyriaos. But in the end, it's GOAT with a clean 500 as they take our game number 1, and I put the score on the wrong side.
Can we talk about Reckzz into Trainer engagement? The 2-step separation, but the Bliss assistance hit before that. So it was not only max range, but the range was actually extended as the Blissey was trying to close the gap, and they absolutely demolish Muk, who was really their number 1 priority, because once Muk was gone, the rest of their composition was pretty well suited to fend off Urshifu with the Comfey, because they could focus fire in on it, get the spacing they need off the A9, but the A9 can't close that distance from Muk. So getting that KO was huge, and that was truly the beginning of the end for me.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you take down that Inteleon, obviously they did 78,000 damage for their team, just below top damage on their squad. You take out that main damage dealer, you're in a whole lot better of a scenario, because now you have a little bit less to worry about. Muk going down, absolutely pivotal, like you just mentioned, and Whew, what a start to our grand finals match. You couldn't really ask for more. That felt electric. We had double invades on both sides almost constantly. We had the Urshifu Comfey on one end and of course the Blissey Leafeon on the other. It seemed relentless from these two teams, and I would not be surprised to see that continue all through our best of three.
Great adjustment by Goat. I'm still thinking, right? Muk, was dealing a ton of damage, but it was the type of damage they were doing, which was this maximum range type damage. And there wasn't a lot of tools on the side of Goat to close that gap with Muk specifically. So they drew up this pseudo quarter flank game plan. And really, I mean, it was up to Trainer to, as soon as Reckzz said go, hit that. The Bliss assistance was coming up, but Trainer had to empty the tank to make sure that they closed that gap and the Bliss assistance would hit right at the correct time. And the level of trust that they were able to build on this team between these two players that, like you said, are kind of NA all-stars that have come together for this is very impressive. So good on Reckzz, good on Trainer, because I think that final fight definitely hinged on them, as I said before.
Yeah, the nemesis difference, I guess. That coordination coming from somewhere. I love to see that. A bit of a throwback tournament we've entered into, I guess, at this point. All right, well, the teams are getting set up, ready to go any second now. Cursed has elected to remain on second pick, so they are going to be sticking with that one headed into our next game, which I have to imagine will mean they get the Inteleon for a second time. With sort of how these drafts have gone, Zacian will most likely be grabbed by Overlord unless we see that Pokemon banned. Dewsnax, is it finally time to see the Sword Dog in the ban spot?
I think so. I think it's just too big of a factor for either team, right? If it gets let through. Lapras has shown itself to be strong, but not insurmountable. And because of that, I think you need to switch priority to really take something like a Zacian out of the equation. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Zacian and Inteleon be the two bans here, kind of split the difference between two quality defender picks on these teams, and really just trying to work it out from there.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that'd be really interesting to see. What's been surprising to me for our metagame recently is to kind of see the decline of Umbreon down the totem pole a little bit. Like, it's making itself into most games. However, it's not receiving near as many bans. It's not being first pick prioed or anything like that. It's definitely falling lower down the scale, which is surprising to me because of how freaking good it is. Dewsnax, like, I'm not saying that it's surprising because I think it's the right decision. I think people are just forgetting how good that Pokemon is and maybe need to rethink some of their drafting strategies in our tournaments. That's all I'm saying.
I think people are just also adapting and understanding a little bit more the playstyle of Umbreon, right? What a mean look represents, how drafts materialize around a mean look Umbreon, right? So Umbreon's really a premier pick when it's put with things like Solar Beam Venusaur or Zacian or something like that. And if you can't get that sorted out, or a Hoopa's on the other side, then it becomes tough because you can mean look targets, but if the Hoopa's on point and puts the portal, slides those right underneath, there's a good chance you're not getting the KO before they get reset. And then you're not really finding the fortune in those mean looks to begin with. So I think people are just adapting really well. I don't think it has anything to do with Umbreon not being good, of course. I just think you really need to make sure it lines up with your composition and theirs.
Yeah. Okay. I relent. I think that is a really good breakdown of what Umbreon is bringing to the table. Let's not forget how good Snarl is either. That move also kind of absurd, but yes, it is all viable options. But no Zacian ban, no Inteleon ban. Instead, we are seeing two green background Pokemon, double defender bans, Goat and Curse, taking away those Pokemon. Goat having first opportunity. Have to imagine we see Overlord Zacian in this first pick again.
Yeah, I can't see him switching up the script now. They're winning a lot of games with it, so why not? Cursed, hovering a Blaziken. There's no way that's a real pick.
Oh, please. I would be so excited.
Maybe at the end, but certainly not at the beginning. Quickly locked in is Blissey. Is this going to be our comfy game, Zoinks?
Ooh, I would have to say, it makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, that or you're playing Hoopa. And Reckzz can play Hoopa. They played it once so far in a tournament tonight, but it definitely seems to be not their first choice. And with a Zoroark being hovered by Trainer right now, I have to imagine we're going to see Comfey, unless it's counterpicked by Curse, but with no defender, as a very risky choice.
Yeah, Goat has done a great job in this draft screen, asking Curse a lot of questions on how they want to try and tackle the puzzle that they're presenting them. And they're going to get this Comfey for free with some high octane targets between Overlord and Trainer on Zoroark and Zacian respectively. So, I mean, no, I was about to say, no way we're going Wiggly. No, Comfey's going to get locked in here, no problems. And look,
Are you sure?
I was like, I thought we were gonna go Pikachu switch to Delphox. Both of them serve a very similar purpose here. I like where Goat's at. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You like the Hoopa better? Good. Yeah, I think the Hoopa instead of the Comfey, it still just works. You know what I mean? Comfey's cute into that composition. You get the Zacian, you get the Zoroark, both of those you can support just so nicely. However, the macro ability that Hoopa brings you cannot deny, and neither can you deny the Garchomp. Boozy finally remembers they need to pick a new Pokemon. Chomp, ready to go.
Look, I'd love to see a pop-off Garchomp game. Anything to make this go the full distance, I would appreciate without a doubt. Ultimately, though, I do think just on the draft screen, I would give the edge to Goat a little bit.
For sure. A little bit. I think a lot of it. I think that
I'm trying to stay positive out here, Zoinks.
Right.
I'm trying to stay positive out here, Zoinks.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I just think the ability for Goat to rotate across this map is going to be almost an insurmountable endeavor here for Cursed.
Yeah, that'll be huge. I want to see more of Nudo. I think their Blastoise in game number 1 was actually really good. They were finding some really nice little 1v1 spots, some good surf isolations, and even just getting some good knockouts with that. Blastoise boosted auto hits a lot harder than you'd expect, you know? And I thought Nudo was playing it exceptionally well, but I think in this composition, they might be able to level up a little bit faster. That being said, they're kind of playing true defender in this comp, so you gotta hope your defender can get online quick.
Yeah, and it makes sense, again, with the Hoopa being on the other side, right? It's one of their only tools to, I guess you have the Dragon Rush from Buzl if they decide to go that kit. But, if you're going Surf Toys, like, your main job is to make sure that this Goat team cannot catch these Hoopa resets.
Is this a Fire Spin Delphox game into Urshifu Garchomp? That seems pretty good.
I would, yeah, heck yeah.
That seems like a really good option.
I mean, spin them down and let your Zoroark feint attack through them. Seems pretty great.
Yeah, I like it. I'm sure Goat is too, but honestly, either option feels like pretty good. Again, I just think this comp is so good from Goat. We'll have to see, though. I am a Garchomp fan through and through. I'm also an Uzi fan, so I'm certainly cheering on that specific player-Pokemon combo.
Without a doubt, this Cubfu on Kyriaos here getting babysat a little bit. Reckzz is coming just in time. Going to hit it with an Astonish and take that buff. No problems. That's just what Hoopas do, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, it's Kira walking away with the blue buff. I think Reckzz is bringing the red from their side. I think they stuck with Trainer to take that seriously, but...
I know stuff. I know things.
It's okay. Kira coming around with that blue aura means that it's not on Cubfu, who has to take a little bit longer to get up to Urshifu. Wow. Bold datboiMuk 16 attempt.
They're going to put the pressure on here as they're moving forward. It is a 2v3, but the damage getting reined in very quickly. Cutting off that effort is Kyriaos stepping in front of those smaller Pokemon on their side of the map. But Kyriaos wants that action. They're going for it. They're starting to hit the movement in there, but they're taking tons of damage. They're at half HP, pivoting back. But what did that allow? Curse to take all of those birds.
Yeah, Curse doing a pretty good job here on the bottom path, and what seems to be a strategy of just absolutely abandoning the top path. Good luck up there, Uzi. We're going to rely solely on our ability here in the bot path. Aznable gets that stack of 2 and is actually going to find the evolution, which will buy them some more time, but eventually datboiMuk finds the KO.
But importantly, Buzl left up top to just start putting some stacks in, of course, and now they're reeling away as they're going to get pinched between Overlord and Trainer and company as they're moving through as well. Now, Buzl, can they get back to their side? Do they even care? That's the question. They're going to try a little Dragon Rush action, but that is one big Zoroark, and that is a ton of damage as they get a KO and some points.
I'm calling it now. I don't think we see Garchomp at first Reggie fight. I think their job is going to be to sit in that top path and hopefully scale up, because I don't think you're going to be a whole lot of help at that 7-minute mark. Trust me, ranked teammates, that's why I'm not coming down. All right, Zoroark trying to escape, makes it back to the portal just in time. That liquidation cannot find the KO. Trainer dodging the clutches of Kyriaos.
Yeah, nice little feint attack back and forth. We're going to see if they can pick up a target. They cannot. But look at this presence in the top path by Goat here. Going to see if they can leash out anybody from Curse to overstep their bounds and really collapse on them.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty dangerous trap to move into. Zoroark Exhaustion can knock you out in a blink of an eye, and then Hoopa just rotates them down back to the bot path. So it really is no sweat off their nose in that scenario.
Yeah, now Zacian v. Gabite making a move as Buzl, but it doesn't matter because making all the moves in the bottom path is who else but Trainer yet again. They feel pretty good in this 4v4 they've got going on, and actually, Kyriaos goes back to their center because they don't want any of this action. Reckzz is getting chipped in, and I think that's another snipe shot Inteleon on a Muk, so this is going to be an opportunity for them to seal up objectives and some big-time KOs, because even if you're down on levels, you can still deal big-time damage from far, far away, and they're going to need Muk to be very good at that if they want to climb into this, because right now, this is the GOAT show.
Yeah, lands one on Zoroark, makes it a little bit more challenging for them. Kyriaos has hit 9, so Unite move online for them, but same way with Trainer, as datboiMuk actually finds the KO on a Trainer. That is a clutch KO.
That is massive because that kept Goat from going absolute banana lands here. Using the Unite move is Kyriaos as they find another one. KO streak a 2 from Muk as well, and now they're all over this goal zone. I'm going to square this thing up, and meanwhile, taking the Reckzz is the Garchomp, the Gabite that finally made their way down.
Yeah, they secure it. Reggielecki does land, which means we're going to see a pretty massive overdunk. I think it's a 37-point overdunk for Goat, as Overlord has now hit double-digit levels at 6 minutes. Yep, that's right. Level 10 at 6 minutes, everybody.
That is what we like to call in the biz a problem, my friend, because that is a Gabite that has yet to hit Garchomp, and they are still getting outscaled very, very quickly here. Buzl going to try and grab these ball toys here to get their Garchomp. They do, but is it too late? That's the question.
I don't know. I think this Garchomp being online is going to be a pretty big threat, even this late in the game. The Unite move from that Pokemon can surely turn the tide of a battle. Mystical Fire goes a little bit wide there for Yeatfan, but datboiMuk hitting that long-range snipe shot to knock out the Umbreon.
Yeah, just 2 snipe shots back-to-back, lining them up, cashing them in, and getting a big-time KO for themselves. They are level 11. They're the biggest thing on Cursed, and they're actually the biggest thing on the map right now, Zoinks, just showing how important Muk's snipe shot Inteleon's going to be. Garchomp Unite comes out. Can they get a KO on anybody? They want Overlord and Trainer. They find neither. But going through in the engagement, Fanciful Fireworks are out there trying to smother them. But really, who's getting smothered is Goat. Hydro Typhoon pops, and they're going to leap to leverage. Blissus is back into the middle, but it's Zacian going to work. First player is down, but there's 2 back the other way. Now they're trying to get this Umbreon sorted out. Aznable is trying to make some magic happen, but they're just taking too much damage. Delphox coming back through. They tries to close the gap. They have no HP. They can't engage any closer. Here comes Trainer on that Zoroark, and now everybody's too low HP. Nobody has enough left in the tank. Kyriaos is going to get this courtesy Delphox KO, but Trainer's on the hunt here. Egg Bomb going to sort that out.
Yeah, Yeatfan on that Delphox hasn't been able to get as many KOs as I think they would like. There we go. Reckzz is down. Or sorry, Reckzz not down quite yet, but Trainer is. Reckzz does Unite move, brings up Aznable, but a little bit too late until Overlord joins the fight.
Yeah, their mean look down, which makes it easy work for Overlord. They collapse on top of the Blissey. Now they're going to grab these birds very quickly. That was actually a pretty good Unite move out of not JL. That was a pretty good Unite out of, Reckzz to make that happen for them. Understood that they were going to get KO. That was not the purpose of that. They were just trying to get the team back in the mix because they're coming off spawn and able to deliver a big time KO, which they did, and take an objective, which they do.
It looked clean. The only downside is they do lose that Unite move opportunity to join that fight in the bottom path, which means that Curse do secure a Registeel, which is a pretty obviously prominent buff to have in these final minute and a half timeline. They do have to take out this Reggielecki with a Delphox Unite. That's going to be a problem, and Reggielecki lands.
It landing is huge. Now these points are going to rain in. 15 left, and no shot did they put 19 over the 50.
Oopsies.
Okay. Best players in the world struggle with math from time to time. No problems there, but that lead could be substantially larger here for Goat. So Curse is going to count their blessings on that one and make sure that, well, they can make that mistake into a nightmare for them and push this thing to a game 3.
Aznable running the gauntlet here, dodging red lights all over the place as that snipe shot beam gives them just a little semblance of where that a massive amount of damage is going to come from. Now, Overlord being chased down here, they need to make it back to the portal by egg bomb and a dragon rush trying to stop them in their tracks. So Overlord has to dash away with a boosted agility, and oh, that snipe shot comes just a little bit short.
Yeah, it fell just a bit shy, but that opened up some space to get on top of this goal zone. Delphox sitting in the weeds, throwing pot shots from a distance, lighting them down and lighting it up. Smokey the Bear would be upset here. Goal zone siege is still continuing, and this might be a Ray fight here, my friend, as they're using the Rings Unbound Unite. They get their first 2 KOs, 2 players down, but they're going to be back in time for Ray, believe it or not, because they're behind on levels here. The push is for real. Can they get to Muk? That's the real target, Zoinks. That's the real target.
It's been this crazy pendulum because Muk's obviously the target, but Muk has also been trying to chase down Overlord. They were 1 hit away, but Trainer gets the job done. datboiMuk is now KO'd for 15 seconds.
And that's the one they want. Fanciful Fireworks are there. They ripped this thing on the map before Curse could even adjust. 3 players down instantly, just in the crossfire of Goat taking this Rayquaza. And Goat might make this thing short work. We have 2-0 Goat. Curse team sent packing.
Goat are your champions of Unite Mike's Mayhem Season 4. They were obviously a formidable squad, and they took down team after team on their way here. What a game from them. Curse just caught out. Goat with an incredible performance here tonight.
Incredible performance by Goat, and really understanding, again, who their prime target was. Muk on this snipe shot and Teleon was going to be a very real problem, and Goat able to understand that and then deliver on those quality KOs right as the 2-minute mark hit to make sure that Muk was a non-factor when that big objective hit the map. I mean, perfect execution, bell to bell.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it any better myself, Snacks. The execution is all the devil's in the details, really. And Goat certainly have found a lot of the details. Overlord 59k, 65k from Yeatfan, 44 from Trainer. I mean, these may not be gigantic numbers, but what looked amazing was just their macro and incredible performance that we saw all night long. Could not get enough of watching these teams play. What a performance from Goat, and congratulations to our Season 4 Unite Mike's Mayhem champions, as Reckzz comes and claims yet another one of our tourneys.
Yeah, I mean, again, shout out to Goat for the big time win. Shout out to every team that's participated over the last 4 weeks. Without teams stepping up when we invite them to be a part of this, we wouldn't be able to put these on. And of course, we love putting on some off-season events for everyone at home there. Thanks for the 300 people that are in the chat right now hanging out. We appreciate you. Thanks for watching our grand finals, of course. And the last thing we'll plug while we've got everybody's ears and eyes on Unite Mike's is our emote initiative. If you subscribe to us or use your Prime sub to Unite Mike's, obviously you get all our emotes. We've got more coming along the way here. But what we do is we donate our all the money that our channel makes at the end of each month to charities. So know that your Bezos bucks are actually getting not circulated into our pockets, but circulated to good causes at the end of each month. And then, of course, that leads me to the next point. Follow us at Unite Mike's on Twitter, where not only do we post updates about all these events and things like that, episodes of Overdunk, etc., we also post the receipts to those donations at the end of each month. Bang. Zoinks, talk to them.
Yeah, it's a great place to be. We love trying to help out the community and the world at large with anything you want to throw our direction. Thank you so much. And our emotes are pretty cool. So thank you, everybody. I just want to give a few shout-outs, of course. Thank you for the huge raids so far in tonight's tournament. Spraggles, Zugrog, Oblivion, like so many people throwing some love. JL as well after they were knocked out of the tournament. So thank you so much for everyone. Thank you for all the teams that participated. I know it's tough in the offseason to grab squads and form up, but thank you for participating in competitive Unite. Thanks for everybody for turning up. Huge shout out to Gamma for being our observer each and every single week, bringing the best camera in all of Unite to our Twitch channel and having a lot of fun in our tournament. And then, of course, shout out to the GOAT Psyche for holding it down in the moderator side of things in so many of our events. We absolutely love you. Thank you for your support. And thank you all of you as well. I think that closes it up for me. Check it out. Overdunk Podcast should be coming back very, very shortly, everybody. But Season 4 has been so fun. And don't worry, Unite Mike's has got some very cool events cooking up in the near future. I can't wait. Deuce next. Say goodbye to the people, and we'll get out of here.
Peace, love, and hugs, my friends. Be safe out there. We'll see you next time.